The Little Mermaid. Deep beneath the ocean, where the water is emerald blue, lived the Sea King, a merman, and all his subjects. He lived with his daughters, the little sea princesses, in a beautiful castle made of coral, shells, and pearls. The youngest mermaid was much quieter than her sisters and longed for the world above the waves. She could often be found gazing at the statue of a man that had fallen to the sea floor from a wreck. The Little Mermaid would swim to the surface and sit on a rock to watch the great ships pass by. One evening, a large ship with 3 masts lay on the water. There was music and song on board, and as night fell, colored lanterns were lit. The Little Mermaid swam closer to get a better look at the people on board. Inside was a young prince. He was having a birthday party. Everyone was dancing, having fun. Then there were fireworks, which exploded as bright as day. But all of a sudden, a storm was upon them. The ship groaned and creaked as the waves broke over the deck. Everyone was in grave danger. The Little Mermaid saw the prince slip into the water. Rising and falling with the waves, she reached him and dragged him to the surface. The Little Mermaid swam through the night to find land, and eventually she found a little bay near a castle where the water was deep. She pushed the prince onto the warm, dry sand. Suddenly, a princess appeared from the castle. She hurried towards the prince. The Little Mermaid hid behind some rocks and watched from the water. The princess helps the prince back to her father's castle to recover. They soon fell in love. Even so, the prince couldn't help but wonder who had saved him. Each day the mermaid returned to the bay. She would hide and watch as the prince rowed his rowing boat every evening. One day, a great party was held at the Sea King's palace. Everyone was dancing and singing, all apart from the Little Mermaid. She was desperate to find a way to be with her prince. So she left to find the old sea witch. The old sea witch smiled nastily when the Little Mermaid asked to be given legs to replace her mermaid's tail.
If you drink this potion, your wish will be granted. But if the prince marries another, you must return to the sea and become foam on the waves. As payment, you will lose your voice,
she added. The Little Mermaid swam to the shore and drank the potion. At once, her tail became 2 legs. She tried to find the prince, but found it hard to walk. The Little Mermaid sat down to rest and soon fell fast asleep. When she awoke, the prince was there.
"I'll take care of you,"
he said. But the Little Mermaid couldn't reply. They spent lots of time together, and Little Mermaid fell even more in love. But the prince was engaged to be married to the princess who had found him on the shore. On the day of the prince's wedding, the Little Mermaid was very sad indeed. She left the ceremony to return to the sea. But she did not turn to foam, as the sea witch has said. Instead, she found herself being lifted up by spirits.
"Don't be sad. Come with us,"
they cried,
We fly around the world to do good deeds.
The little mermaid joined them and was happy at last. The end.